Everyone. We've all been following the Nancy Guthrie story since a month, just over a month now since she's disappeared. And we've always said that Nanos hasn't really done much of a press conference. I know in the beginning he said that if there's no news, he won't tell no news. But a lot of people have been calling for him to do an update because no one's heard from him. And there was sightings of a helicopter going around the desert, circling in the same circle over and over again. And this woman, Tina Ransom, I believe her name was, said to JLR Investigates that she believes they were searching for Nancy because that helicopter hadn't been on that plan ever before. But I'll just play this and then I'll read out what the sheriff says. We've all probably seen this video. Let me just enlarge the page.
2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that
just check my mic was on.
It's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. It's been...
Now you can see the pain in her eyes clearly. You know, she is distraught with worry over it. Let me add this person here. A lot of people, even his sheriffs, have sort of like lost interest in his way of dealing with things. I forget what it's called now. But a lot of people have like either left the department or they're sort of like talking behind his back. I've heard rumors about police officers going behind Nano's back and that, but I'll just read out what it says on my screen. Let me just reduce this one down. Right, this was given today. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said he thinks the individual behind Nancy Guthrie's disappearance had a target. I think it was an individual who had a target for whatever reason, and he has made it tough. But I've got some pretty tough investigators too, Nanos said in an interview with the Today Show. Now, there's still rumors that it's two people. Whether or not it is, I don't know. But the clothing from the two images are different. It could have been one person on 2 different days. We just don't know. There seems to be so many things flying around and nothing sort of like conclusive. And, you know, I think they've started it wrong because they should have closed the Nancy's house down from day one and made it as a crime scene, but they didn't shut it down till a few days ago. I think the FBI should have overtook this case from the day one because I don't think Chris Nano's team had the sort of like, experience to deal with this type of thing because it must be the most major thing in Pima County. But anyway, Nanos declined to whether say the incident was random or targeted during a press conference earlier this month. We don't know. We're going to assume both sides of that. We'll look at both sides of that, he said in previous comments. Nanos told the Today Show that the DNA found at Nancy's property could belong to the suspect behind her disappearance. So he hasn't said it is or isn't. But do we know for real if that blood was actually there before Nancy disappeared? You know, there might have been another reason why the blood was there. You know, and I think at the beginning, Nano said that the blood outside on the porch was Nancy's. So that's contradicting on what's been said. So it's all this sort of like back and forth, and we're all confused. I'm confused at it. But I do thank all the media that was outside Nancy's house every single day, come high sunshine, high heat and everything else. Because if it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't know as much as what we do. Brian Enton's been on this, boots on the ground, and so is JLR. He's been boots on the ground, and both of them are fantastic. They really are. If you can go to their YouTube channel, please do and sign up to them. Now, the context. Nancy, the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show, co-host to Savannah Guthrie, has been missing for over 2 weeks. Well, no, it's been longer than that. This must be a bit of old news. Alleged ransom notes were sent to multiple news outlets after her disappearance. Nano previously said at a news conference there were clues at the crime scene indicating Nancy did not leave on her own. I would like to see photographs from or videos from inside Nancy's house, to give us all a bit more of what went on. The sheriff has also said that Nancy needs daily medication and it could be fatal if she doesn't take it every 24 hours. Well, we knew all that. And then it goes on to say, Nanos said the investigators are looking into what could be a ring underneath the glove in the video footage of a potential subject released by law enforcement. Nano said, I see it. So he can see the ring underneath the glove. I still think it's probably a signet ring. I don't know what the other type of rings that was described as are. And he said, however, people have circled it and he's going to have his team look into it. He also said investigators are looking into the holster that the individual was seen wearing, according to the Today Show. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department released surveillance photos and a video of the potential subject last week as a part of investigation to Nancy's disappearance. The agency said they'd worked closely with a private sector of partners to recover any images or video footage from Nancy's home, and that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, including the removal of a recording device. Law enforcement said the new video was recovered from a registral data located in the back end of the systems. Nanos said Google is working on retrieving additional footage from the other Nest cameras that was found at Nancy's property, according to the Today Show. He said other private companies, including Meta, Apple, have offered to help, according to the outlet. Now, if other companies like that are offering to help, I feel that Nanos can't say no. I know he wasn't keen with the FBI coming into it, but the FBI are more experienced than what Nano's team is. So if Meta and Apple have offered to help, I think he should take that, with a golden handshake. I really do. The FBI said on Sunday that the gloves found about 2 miles from Nancy's home in a field near the side of the road was packaged up by Pima County Sheriff's Department and sent overnight on Thursday. The gloves arrived at the private lab in Florida on Friday. Pima County Sheriff's Department said the evidence was submitted to the National DNA Database CODIS on Tuesday morning. The Sheriff's Department said there was no DNA hits on CODIS. Well, I personally don't think those gloves, being 2 miles away from Nancy's home, would have anything to do with Nancy, because they've said in several news items that there's a lot of gloves like that used by different people, like hairdressers, maybe builders, mechanics, definitely. So the National DNA Index had over 19.2 million offender profiles and 6.1 million arrestee profiles and 1.4 million forensic profiles as of November, according to the FBI. So the National DNA Index has a lot of profiles on their system. Nano said that to him, the DNA at the house is more critical than any glove I found 2 miles away. The sheriff's office said on Tuesday that investigators are looking into additional investigative genealogy options for the DNA evidence to check for matches. Then a heading that says what people are saying. Savannah Guthrie, in a video posted on Instagram, it's been 2 whole weeks since our mum was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope and we still believe. And then Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos, in comments to ABC News, said, "We're not giving up. Nancy's out there and we're going to find her. We're not going to give up." I really hope they find her soon, because to me, I don't know what most kidnapping, missing people are for adults, but I think 4 weeks is quite a long time. And it just says, what happens next? Anyone with information is asked to contact 1-800 call FBI 520-351-4900 or 88-crime or visit tips.fbi.gov. The FBI is also offering a reward of up to $1 million for information leading to the recovery of Nancy and or the arrest of conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. So that was a small update from today that Nanos had said. I really feel sorry for Savannah. It's a horrible thing to go through, and she does look really tired and really distraught still. It's understandable. She's probably not getting much sleep overnight time. She's a bit like me, actually. I rarely get a couple hours a night, but yeah. So I thought I'd just update everyone on a very quick update on this and let people know what's been going on. I'll just see if there's anything else before we sign off. Let's put Nancy Guthrie latest update. And I also think, from what I heard from JLR's investigation on his calls yesterday, there's a team of canine searchers that are going to be coming. I think they were coming today on it to help search the desert area. Just see if there's anything news. 27, 26, 27, 2. So that would be February. I hate it when the dates are all back to thing. And then all it was said an hour ago that Savannah Guthrie has to return to her life amid ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie. As the search goes on for Nancy Guthrie enters into its 2nd month, her daughter Savannah is reportedly returning from Arizona to her home in New York. A source told Bob Shuttler's Naughty But Nice Substack on Tuesday, the 3rd of March, that Savannah, aged 54, didn't want it to be a goodbye. But today, Anchor can't live in limbo forever. It is really hard to say goodbye, especially when you haven't physically got a body. And even when you have got a body, it's still really hard. You never want to say goodbye to that person that you've just lost. Savannah has to return her life, a source adds, but she is leaving a piece of her heart in Arizona. Well, I think her heart's always going to be in Arizona. A sign still outside Nancy's home reads, "Please come home." And a source told the outlet it breaks Savannah's heart every time she reads it. She still believes, she just doesn't know what she is believing for anymore. So, and then it just goes on about the story on it. And then apparently a couple hours ago, Sheriff Chris Nanos gave an update on the investigation 1 month into the search for Savannah. This was dated today, Tuesday, the 3rd of March. Need to know. We know about her being taken. Right. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos spoke to the NBC's Liz Kurtz in a new interview which aired on today's show, Tuesday, the 3rd of March. When asked by Kreutz whether the investigators are getting any closer to finding the suspect or suspects, Nanos replied, "I think that the investigators are definitely closer. We've got a lot of intel and a lot of leads, but now it's time to just go to work." So let me see if I can find that interview. It's not very good pictures. I mean, sound. I need sound. No, it's not letting me have sound. Why is it not letting me have sound? No, I've got no sound on this. The speaker thing doesn't want to move. Oh, how minute? Have I got to do this first? Oh, right, how minute? Let me go back to play this. It's only 3 minutes long. Let me go back to sharing the screen with you. If I stop that screen and share this screen, which tab was it? A minute, bear with. I've got to find that one. So if I cross these ones out, just so that I don't get confused on what I'm sharing, because it's easy to get confused when you have so many tabs open. Right, let's see if I can share this screen now. This one. Right, I'll go back to that one and we will enlarge the screen, full screen.
Savannah, Annie, and her husband Tommaso visiting that growing memorial.
Picture's
seen
awful.
in this video, laying yellow flowers and a card with this handwritten message.
It's got better now.
Though we are surrounded by so much darkness and uncertainty, our love burns bright. We love you, Mommy. We miss you so much.
Bless.
Savannah later sharing this image on Instagram, saying, "We feel the love and prayers from our neighbors, from the Tucson community, and from around the country." Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos tells us he's also not giving up hope.
So, Sheriff, it's been 30 days since Nancy Guthrie went missing. Are investigators any closer to finding the suspect or suspects?
I think the investigators are definitely closer. We got a lot of intel, a lot of leads, but now it's time to just go to work.
We also asked about that new Ring camera video obtained by Fox News Digital showing a car 2.5 miles away.
Yeah. Is this really something we should be looking at?
Look, what I would tell you is this. We're aware of it and we're looking into it, just like any other piece of evidence.
Have you been able to identify the car that drove past at 2:36 a.m.?
No.
No. But you are looking to identify it.
We're looking at that vehicle as well as hundreds of thousands of other vehicles that were out driving that time of day.
Nanos says they still haven't identified the other clothes the suspect was wearing and told us this about the backpack.
We've now learned that maybe it wasn't purchased out of Walmart. That backpack is new, is exclusive to Walmart. But who's to say I didn't buy it and put it on eBay? That's what we're looking at.
With so many questions, he told us there is a lot they're just not sharing.
There's so much that everybody wants to know, right? But I would be very neglectful, irresponsible as a police law enforcement leader to share that with everybody. We have information on this case that we think is going to hopefully lead us to solving this case. But it takes time.
And you'll get there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's good to hear, Liz. And by the way, you asked a lot of questions that have been top of mind for a lot of folks who've been following this case very closely. What did the sheriff say, if anything, about the DNA that was found at the house?
Yeah, Craig, that's a big question. I did ask him about that. He said that they are still having some challenges processing that DNA. He suggested that it may be.
See, to me, the FBI that are there on that day just before they opened the house up to the Guthries, I think the FBI have to go around looking at the property, especially if they've not seen it, so that when someone does eventually go to court, they have an idea of what the house looked like from the inside and out. So I think that's what it is, because let's face it, if you were doing a proper investigation and things like that, this this FBI agent here, she's wearing high heels. And I don't think you'd go digging wearing high heels. So I think they were just there to look around the house, maybe take pictures of the house for their records, just so they get some idea. So like if someone says, when you walk in the front door, there's a bathroom to your right, there's a bedroom to your left, etc. And the kitchen's at, 2 doors away. So I think that's why they were there on that day.
A mixture from several people, not just 2 people, which we know from experts can make it really hard to extract an individual profile from. He says they have put some of the DNA they found into CODIS, the FBI's national data bank. No hits yet. But despite all this, he says he still does believe that the unknown DNA may be the suspects and that he still very much sees DNA as a viable lead for them, but that it's just going to take some time. Craig.
All right. Liz Kreutz. Liz, thank you. And as always, if you have any information that could be helpful in this case, there's the phone number right there. Call the FBI's tip line, 1-800-CALL-FBI.
And as the old saying goes, nope, shush. As they say, see something, say something. Let me just add Nanos up there. So yeah, so if anyone sees anything, no matter how big or small, you've got to say something, because you never know, that one thing might be the most important thing ever. So we'll keep on following this. If you could like and subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. I would like to get to at least 100 subscribers by June. So we've got a few months yet, because it's my birthday in June. So that's why I've said June. I think at the moment I got 18 subscribers, and the more subscribers I get, then I can start doing live shows and have people in chat, and I can chat to people because I do like talking, and I like typing and texting and everything else. So if you could like and subscribe, I really appreciate that. And if you want to buy me a coffee, the details there. I always love my coffee, and I love my bottled water as well. So once again, I'm going to sign off now, and thank you very much for watching and being here with me. I do appreciate it, and thank you. Bye.